I think we are good.
Right, we're good.
I've been contemplating the idea of cold opens for these,
Okay.
like where we would do some banter and then it would go into the. It sounds like work though.
Okay, so what's the difference? What's a cold open compared? What are we doing now?
This would technically could be used as the cold open.
This could be the.
This could be
So what's the cold open compared to what? What are we doing now?
right to the music.
Oh, so you're saying nothing being just do cold opening?
No, we do cold opening, then music, then show.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Music, then show.
But where's the banter coming? Where's the opening come in? The thing that we're taping. Oh, but all right, when we don't tape. Okay, I got you. Like last week, we were all here. That was the show. We were part of the show. Okay, all right, I got that part. So what are you planning? What's this cold open? Give it to me again.
Cold open, then the theme song, then the show.
Okay, whatever. I'll just go along. Do I have to do anything?
Welcome to the Talk Shop Podcast. Hi, David. How are you doing?
Matthew. Welcome. I welcome you back. Welcome. I mean, like I'm not welcoming you back from somewhere. I'm just
You know what the funny thing is? This is your degree.
varying degree.
Much closer than mine
It
in
is.
geography.
It is.
Oh man, another weekend. Still no rain. Still
I know.
dry. Still
Yeah.
warm. It was 80 degrees over the weekend
I know.
on campus.
I know.
But it did turn out to be very nice weather for our event.
Yes, and for our we had some events. We had an event, and there was some sporting events, some sports balls.
No, the soccer event was very nice. It
Yeah.
was good to see some alum and
it
the
was.
team, and they were happy.
Yeah, it was good to see some alum. And we saw some alum, which is interesting. We don't always see this kind of grouping, but it was from 2014 till present. Like there was a group of younger alum, which is always pleasant
Mm-hmm.
to talk to. It just makes you feel how out of touch you really are. So there's a downside to not talking to alum that graduated earlier.
There's times where it crops up more and more. I will still maintain, because I know it goes to help them, my club dues for the Geography and Environmental Science Club. And it's just like, hey, here's my $5 or whatever it is, or $10. And, you just go to the bank, you get cash or whatever, which first off, foreign concept.
Yeah,
Here's cash.
You're lost people.
I gave Lyra a $5 bill that was from 1997. And I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. I'm like, oh, whatever, you don't think about it. And she started going where in the high school pantheon her parents were
In
at that point.
1997.
And I'm like, oh, I feel old.
Yeah. So when you see a lot of younger, especially when they're athletic, it even makes it worse.
Yeah.
But hey, it's part of the job.
Well, and I'm glad everyone has tuned in today to watch continue watching David and I deteriorate
There you
live
go.
on the air.
You can hear it. You can almost hear it happening.
But no, soccer was a very cool event.
Yeah, it was. And I want to thank Coach Dean. It was her idea. Let's get some women together. I know that this is she's a new coach. She's been here, I think, her second season. So she's building her new alumni base, and we'd like to see that grow into something larger. A couple of years ago, we did a very successful men's and women's event where there were enough alum for both the men's and the women to play alumni games. So who knows? We may look at doing something like that in the spring, either men's and women together, or just women. But it was a good time. It was good.
They were also excited. They opened up the field.
Yeah, they did. And you know what happened? A 2-2 tie.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
So what's that? Our women's record right now? They haven't won.
And
they haven't lost.
3?
Yeah.
So
3 attempts, 3 ties.
I will defer to those who understand soccer better about how that impacts rankings. And
A tie's a tie, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. But you don't win, you don't lose.
See, I'm thinking like, because I'm used to like hockey where, okay, let's do a shootout.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't.
I don't think they do that.
These, you know what? This would have been good. All questions for Coach Adine last week.
Last week.
That we
yeah,
could have.
Or what would happen? Like, because, yeah, I know they get, I do, because I talked to her on Saturday. I do know they get a couple of, like, at points, like in hockey. Like a tie is so much win and a loss. I don't think get anything from
Or
loss.
even go down the hall 2 doors and talk to Ola.
Yeah.
He also would understand this.
That may be deeper than we want to go, though.
Anyway, we got some changes to the calendar coming up.
Yeah.
As things get settled. What do you have, David?
So first change, I know that this Saturday we were planning to do the Education Department reunion and the Geosciences Department celebration, combination celebration. And we are postponing that due to circumstances beyond our control. Keep an eye on social media here on the podcast. We will let you know when that's going to be rescheduled in the very near future. So if you're listening and you're planning on coming out Saturday, that's not going to happen. We will reach out to you from the.
There's a very good. There should be, based on your schedule. We're recording Monday morning. If anyone's out there is registered, they probably have already talked to you.
We have reached
if
out
they're
to you,
hearing
right.
this.
We probably reached out to you and talked about what our plans are in the future. But the website will still be live up. So if the rescheduled date is soon coming, we'll have that on there.
And if maybe you said, hey, I'd like to go, but I couldn't make it because of the day in particular. Hey, now you have a chance.
Absolutely. One other change in the near future. I know we talked. I think we talked in the last podcast about the women's and men's basketball.
We did
games down in Oakland at the Pete. So follow along here. So if you got your game cards, get them out, and hopefully you did it in pencil. Originally, our men were going to play the Oakland men on Saturday, the 25th of October. That game has been moved to October 27th. That's the following Monday at 7 o'clock. Our men will still play their men. We will still have hopefully a large alumni presence, along with, keep an eye out for that. I think we're looking to do about another 100 free tickets for first come, first serve, along with the Icy Light Baseline activities like we did last time. The women are still playing on the 26th. So the women are playing their women on the 26th. That, by my notes, shows to be a 1 p.m. game. We're also working, keep an eye out on our social platforms. As I mentioned, our women's, part of our women's soccer.
You said the 26th.
Women's, the 26th.
Yeah, Sunday the 26th, and then men on the 27th, which is the Monday.
Correct. Yeah, the Saturday has been moved to Monday, and we are working on something. I said soccer, but I meant to say women's volleyball in celebration of the 50th season, along with the celebration on October 18th, which is a dinner. We'll be looking to do something on the 26th also with our women's volleyball team and the Oakland team. Not playing together, but I think we're looking to get some tickets and do some meet and greeting down in Oakland. So keep an eye on that. Things they get fluid, you know.
It's a lot of different pieces. It's what we have going on campus and stuff that's occurring. We had it's Oakland homecoming for the Oakland people who are alum of that campus. So they have to deal with that kind of fluctuating around. It's preseason, which also gives a little more flexibility. So
absolutely,
roll with it.
Yeah, and our homecoming activities are October 18th. So that that registration page is very close to being launched. We'll start sending out some more social reminders on that as far as emails and some things on our platforms. So that is not changing.
No, that one's a locked-in date.
Yeah, that date is locked in. The other ones that we talked about,
there's some fluidity to the world we live in.
Gotta be flexible sometime. So
no, it's a lot of pieces moving on. It's moving around and going on, and it takes a little bit of time to kind of get everything settled with a whole bunch of different schedules.
Yep.
Especially these basketball games. It's 2 athletic departments, 2 campuses.
Yep.
A countless number of people. So, but it is still exciting, and I'm sure it is going to be fine.
Yeah.
because I'm sure we had the last one they did was Wednesday. So
Yeah, we had 125
Yeah.
alum show up, and another 40 or 50 showed up for the women. Both were on weeknights.
yeah,
So it's always a good time. That's the one thing I can tell you that will not change. Nobody yet has had a bad time that I've heard of, so that's not going to change. It'll be a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. Today's interview is the first in a couple of a series that we did during a summer event. Do you want to explain the core purpose of this group?
So, yeah, to the best of my ability. So, back in the 70s, there was a group of alum. I'd say they were 73 to 75 that went to school here. Some got their degree from here. Some transferred to other universities. But they felt that this was truly their home. About 3 or 4 years ago, they had an alum that passed away, Tony D. Napoli. I think I'm saying that correctly. So they would get together on campus. Am I saying that correctly?
I'm going to say yes.
They would get together on campus in his memory, and this started to become an annual event. So this was the third time that they got together. And the most interesting thing about this group, and I'm sure Matt, you would agree, you were there also.
Correct.
That even though probably half did not graduate from Pitt Johnstown, either graduated from Oakland or even other universities.
Or didn't at all.
Just
stopped.
Did 2 years and that was it, or did 3 years and that was it. They really had this sense of this is really their home, and they want to come back and they want to get together and they want to celebrate, which makes you really feel good when you're an alum to see there's a real affinity. This is the word I'm looking for with this group. So interesting bunch.
Very much so.
The 70s, I can tell you as much of this group, they're led by a gentleman named Tony Golden. And we kind of started.
And that's who we're going to hear from today.
The moniker, the Golden Group. Never once any of these gentlemen or women that are in this group, when they say, let me tell you a story, I sit down because I want to hear the whole story.
Well, that's where I want to encourage people, because this is going to be interesting to see how this episode kind of is received, because this is the first time when they had their event this summer, just to paint the picture. I show up, I have my little Go kit, and we sit down, and anyone want to talk on the show. And we're going to hear the great interview Tony did, talking about his time and why they do this stuff. And I encourage you guys are going to love it. I'm packed up.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony comes over and says, I have another story. So there is a Marvel-esque after credit style scene that I'll stick before the end of the show. But understand, there is 2 separate hours apart stories that he wanted to come back and tell another story for the show today. So it's kind of, and that's just their whole happy.
That's
they're
their
happy
vibe,
to be
man.
here. They're kind of very cool and laid back, and it's cool to have them on campus.
It's good to have people around like that, because it reminds you, how important friends are. Take away all the electronics, everything that we have today to make friends quicker and at a wider space. These guys had none of that. And 73 to 75, that's 50 years, man.
Yeah.
Where these guys just been coming back. And as long as I've been here, this is like I said, their third time they came back to do a little get together. So it's really, so I'm sure it says a lot about the bond you make here at Pitt Johnstown.
I think that pretty much sums it up pretty well, David, because it's hard to describe this group.
You got to meet them, man.
You got to meet them. It's fantastic. They're so cool to have on campus. So why don't we go talk to Tony Golden? Today's show, we welcome Tony Golden to the show. Tony, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome, my man.
You have now taken part in 2 events that you've helped put together and bring folks back.
Yeah.
First things first, when did you graduate?
My first year here was the fall of 70. And I was here until 73. And I took a sabbatical, which I'm still on.
Which you're still on. But you love the place.
When I was here and first came here, the only building, they had Biddle, Krebs Hall, the dorms, the library, I think, was the newest building at that time. The student union, it was the same building that had the gym where the basketball, all the play, and the concerts took place.
Yeah.
So and it's pretty amazing. And you knew everybody you knew every face on campus. It was like it's like a little private country. We're in 600 acres of land around us. You're like in another country. It was our own little country, and we loved it.
What kind of, you talked about the concerts. First, what did you study when you were here before the sabbatical?
I was pre-med.
You were pre-med?
I was pre-med. And I was paying my way through college as a electrician for a big electric company.
Okay.
And my grades weren't going to get me into med school, so the company offered me first-class electrical rates back in, which was phenomenal money. So I said, well, all right, I'll take a break and I'll go full-time as an electrician. So that's what happened. I took some night classes at Mount Aloysius. I got interested in art while I was here. My last year, I got interested in art, which I didn't. I had no interest at all in high school, but I just somehow got interested in it. So to keep me in that college mood, that environment, I took some night classes in art at Mount Aloysius. But one of the cool things about this was the people were very creative. I mean, and we sort of, the people we hooked up with, very very in tune with the arts, very creative people, and they went on to be some pretty creative careers. And so that's kind of how our group sort of started getting together. And there would be 20, 25 of us that were always at the same party, and because we all had our same kind of interest, But and another thing I remember about that time were the amazing concerts.
I wanted to ask you about the concerts. What kind of concerts did you see?
Our friend was on the programming board, so it was amazing. He would get groups like he was responsible for bringing Fleetwood Mac in right when Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined the band. That was their first. This was one of their first stops. Actually, was here at UPJ, and the Mark, that was on the program board, he had to sort of lie to their manager, say, oh, we got a big venue, plenty of room. Well, they showed up, and they're down in the Student Union gym, which is what you have with their
It's
now.
The Cambria room now for anyone who would be the last
and I can remember
chunk of years.
Sitting and watching the group being set up, the band being set up. And my friend comes up and notches me on the shoulder and says, look over here. And Stevie Nicks standing right next to me. I'm there, oh, my God, I melted. It's like I was in love with her. So, and after that concert, my friend Mark knew where they were staying at the motel right at the bottom of GB Hill. So that next morning, we went down there, and sure enough, they're having breakfast. And we had breakfast. 3 of us had breakfast with Fleetwood Mac. It was awesome.
What's breakfast with Fleetwood Mac like?
Is it
like...
was more like a donuts and coffee.
But do you talk about the show? Do you talk about random stuff?
Talking about music, where they were headed next, small talk like that. It was pretty cool. I just said, called him an amazing drummer. He was Fleetwood. You know? And then another cool story it has to do with music at UPJ. This is when I had left the university. I was still working as an electrician in Ohio, and I came back for the weekend. And my buddy calls me and he says, I got this group. They're going to be playing in the log cabin. And I got them really cheap. They're doing college coffee house gigs around the country, and they had a spot to fill, so I got them. So he invited me down, so I come down. Down at the log cabin, I know there was maybe 19, 20 of us. We roll a keg in down at the log cabin, and the band starts playing. It was the Police.
Okay.
And they're playing, and they come back to the townhouses and party with us and everything, This is before. And so we're good. My least favorite song they played was Roxanne. That was my least favorite song. Like a few weeks later, I hear this song on the radio. It's Roxanne. I said, hey, I know those guys. Just saw those guys. We partied with them. Little did I know what was going to happen with Sting and the Police. I'd have had so much stuff signed, no autograph.
You never know, right?
No, you didn't know. I mean, they didn't know that what was going to happen. They just took off. Pretty amazing.
When you decided to come, what made you decide to come here to UPJ for when you were?
It was convenient. It was close by. I come from Portage, so it was only 20 minutes down the road. I was the only second male from our high school that came to this college.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time.
The
And another interesting point, I was commuting at first, and then winter came on, and I had a nasty rear end accident with somebody on the ramp. So my folks suggested maybe I should stay on campus. So, all right, I signed up for staying on campus. My real name is Jan Anthony Golden, so they had me down as Jan Golden. I show up to my dorm. It's the girls' dorm.
oh,
I'm in Laurel, and I'm there. This is great. And the girl that I was with, she was cool with it, you know. And then I got busted about a week later by the dorm. I got kicked out and put in. I think I was put in Hickory after that. But it was a great. You'd get up in the morning and there'd be turkeys roosting on your car. You know, it was crazy. Wild turkeys. It was crazy. And like I said, it was like your own little community, your own little country, where everybody knew everybody. You know, you recognized everybody. You know, on campus. It was so cool.
and you've now done two events on campus where you've kind of gotten, and we're used to from our side of like, okay, here's a fraternity, or here's a sport or comeback or do these. Or you don't have. You're friends.
Yeah, it was just a group of friends that just stayed connected, you know. And one reunion I put together was a memorial reunion for one of our friends that had passed away. And that was actually, I think, just 2 years ago. We did
That was 20
for Tom DiNapoli.
22.
Yeah. And
because I remember doing the tours and stuff with your group. 22.
Yeah.
But this is a great thing. One of the things I want to you talked about art too. I think at that homecoming, you presented some art that you had done.
I did the university treated us so well when we had the memorial for Tom that I became a sculptor, wood carver and sculptor. So I wanted to present something to the university and as a thank you gift. And I did an eagle carving in memory of Tom, and presented it to the university, and it's up in the president's conference room now. Yeah,
It's really amazing. If anyone's on campus, you get a chance to go through and see it. It's just a fantastic piece.
But yeah, they, like I said, Dave especially really helped out with that whole memorial thing we had. It was awesome.
No, it was amazing to see, and actually, to be fair to you guys, I tell that story a good bit because you could just see that emotion and that memory and that connection that people feel when they come back here.
And we were able to go through the old, the same room that he lived. His brother was here, and he was able to go to the room and take a picture of where Tom's original room was on campus at Maple Hall. So it was very cool.
No, it's great. We're always glad to have you all here.
Yeah,
on campus.
We're hoping that we can do this again, before we're not be able to do it. So,
Tony, thank you for coming and spending some time with us on the show.
You're welcome, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Tony's back with a story. Like a Marvel movie, we have a post-credit scene for this episode.
That's right, baby. Yeah, this has to do with the camaraderie that we established with our crew. I think it was in '72, 3 of the fellows decided to leave UPJ and they transferred to Kent State, Ohio. And so they made that move, but we were still kept in touch with them. We'd visit them, they would visit us. And some of the people that lived on campus in dorms decided to move off campus here at UPJ. They moved to a farmhouse outside of Holsapple. Now, I think there was like 6 or 7 of them lived in the farmhouse. So we all, on weekends, would congregate at this farmhouse, to party and just have a good time.
Yeah.
The fellows that transferred to Kent State met a group of people that also lived in a farmhouse outside of the campus at Kent State.
Nice.
So now we had this farmhouse parties, we called them. At least once every month, we were either going to Kent State, down the turnpike to Kent State, or they were driving down the turnpike to UPJ, the farmhouse.
Nice.
And then we decided to start getting together on every Memorial weekend. So the first Memorial weekend gathering I was put in charge of, and I picked this lake near Portage, Wilmore Dam. That's where we decided to do it. And we had maybe 25 people all together, hiked down to the lake to have this party, this weekend party, Memorial Weekend. But moving all the gear down, I mean, we had like 5 kegs of beer, all kind of ham. You know, we did it upright for when we did a gathering.
Yeah.
So Wilmore Dam is it's in a steep valley. So when we unloaded all the cars in this parking area, and to get the kegs down, we'd roll them down the hill towards the lake. And it was it's in the woods. We're rolling. So my friend Tom the Napoli, he would get like maybe 10 feet below me, and I would roll the keg to him. He would stop it. Then I'd go 10 feet below him, roll the keg to him, and we just kept doing this to get the keg down close to the lake, to the campsite. So we were on the steepest part of the hill, maybe 100 feet or so above the lake, and I rolled a keg to Tom, and it hit a little rock or a stub, and it ricocheted off to the side, and Tom missed the keg. So now the keg's rolling through all this mountain laurel and brush, headed down towards the lake. And we're hearing this all happen. You know, it's all crushing leaves and brush and everything. Next thing you know, we hear this kapoosh. It made it all the way to the lake. So we run down, we get down to the lake, and there's a grandfather's down there with his little nephew, and they were fishing. And we come down and we said, hey, did you see a keg of beer come by here? And the guy says, it's the strangest thing. I'm fishing here with my grandson, and we hear this commotion come. We thought it was a bear, so we were getting kind of afraid. We thought a bear was coming through the woods. And he said, all of a sudden, this big silver can came flying through the air, and it landed about 15 feet out in the lake. So there's it was a quarter keg of beer. Jenny Cream Ale, that was our favorite beer. So now we're trying to dive for it to get, but the lake, it was so steep and the water was cold. It was impossible we were going to find that keg of beer. So we decided to go to the state store in Portage and make up for the keg of beer. We bought like a quarter keg of wine, worth of wine. But while we're down at the state store, I tell the story of what happened, So it's like months later, I'm sitting in a bar, and I hear these 2 guys stand at the end of the bar talking about this keg of beer that's in Wilmore Dam. They're saying, did you hear about that? Here, the guy we bought the beer, the wine off of was telling the story to everybody, and it was spreading through town like wildfire. So they're telling this story, and then I go up to them and I say, hey, let me tell you about that keg of beer. And that keg of beer is still in Wilmore Dam.
Well, there we go. Let's get the crew together.
And that was in '74. That happened, yeah. But we would do, every Memorial Weekend, we would either do it in Pennsylvania or we'd do it in Ohio. Newton put the one together in Ohio. We went down to Athens. We rented a farmhouse down there for a weekend. So good time. But that's how, we kept that connection. And we always had at least, there was 20, 25 of us that would do this between the Kent State people and the UPJ people. So it was kind of cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sitting there fishing. Next thing you know, this keg flying through the air.
We could hear it crash, and then all we heard was a big kapoosh. And he goes, and it landed right there. Over there. So the guys were diving, trying to retrieve it, but it was impossible.
Oh, I love it, Tony. Thanks for adding that. I think that's a really cool story to have on.
My pleasure.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. The Tuck Shop podcast is recorded live on the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown campus. Update your contact information with us by visiting johnstown.pitt.edu/alumni. Connect with us online via Facebook and LinkedIn, or consider donating to the university at giveto.pitt.edu/giveupj.
This has been a production of Quantum Wave Media. Views expressed do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown.